and gentlemen, welcome to Gobble's podcast. I'm Gobble. I have right here legend Paul London. What's up, Paul? Welcome to Gobble's podcast.
Thanks for having me. You're very generous with the legend thing. I'm not that old.
Hey, well, what can I say? ROH tag champion, cruiserweight champion, many other companies as well around the world. International famous.
Man, it's been a wild ride, huh?
Yeah. Man, what can I tell you, man? What a hell of a match with Ryan Kidd tonight, man.
That was crazy. Yeah, the finish too. That was crazy. I've never broken a ring before.
That kind of reminded me of the whole kind of Big Show Lesnar, except that wasn't kayfabe. This thing was legit, man.
Or did you ever see Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow?
Yeah.
There's at the beginning of the intro. Yeah, that thing's pretty awesome.
That was awesome. All right, man. Well, I have a little list right here. I mean,
check out the match if you guys get a chance. Venue Wrestling Entertainment.
I will post it on my YouTube channel under Gobble's podcast and also on my Facebook page too.
For sure.
All right, so I have some questions.
Yeah,
hopefully,
please,
let's see if you can answer. And if you feel comfortable with anything, just let me know.
Yeah, no problem.
See, I'm doing it old school. See,
I like
old
it.
School.
Smart guy.
All right, man. So, what made you become a wrestler?
I think just like what I wanted was some sort of medium where I could jump around, kind of be an idiot, be loud, be very physical. I was an actor as a kid. I mean, I still am, but I was an actor before I was a wrestler. So I think just being a performer. But when I first started getting into wrestling, it was through magazines. So instead of watching it on TV, I saw it in picture form. And so I kind of had to put them, the images together with my mind and make sense out of them. So I think it was just having this mentality of making like mini movies in my head. Because if you think about it, matches are really kind of extended fight scenes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There might be bad fight scenes. There might be really good fight scenes.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like a fight scene like in They Live with like Roddy Piper and Keith David, like that really famous fight scene that's 20-something minutes long, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they spoofed it on South Park. So I mean, we create fight scenes, but I grew up on action films, and I was just always a fan of action, I think. So this was a chance to kind of do it without getting killed.
All right, favorite wrestler?
Wow, there's so many.
Whether it's, it could be old school or it could be new school.
I have so many. I mean, I probably have to list off a couple. I mean, my first initial favorite was Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect.
Oh, wow.
Just because I thought he had so much attitude. He was just such a badass at everything that he did.
He was just so perfect.
I mean, he really was though. But I thought the vignettes that he had too, where he's throwing the ball over his shoulder and it's going in like a swish, and they're cutting to like the edits, to make it like he's throwing the football and running and catching it. I thought that was just so ridiculous. But that's the stuff that I grew up on. The green screen background stuff, But I grew up on Mr. Perfect. I loved him. I was really into the Rockers as well because I thought these were like small guys who, if I could do this is who I would kind of be like. That's, when you're a young kid, I think, and you have these dreams, you want to find something that you can relate with so that your dreams seem more doable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, I knew I was never going to be Hulk Hogan or the Earthquake or Yokozuna, or not that I would want to, but just, I'm a small guy, speaking for wrestling. So I had to find guys that either had black hair. That was another way I was like, it's not like Marty Jannetty, better than Shawn Michaels. I was like, oh, he's got the darker hair. That's more like me. I'll never be a blonde. It was weird. I don't know. But I liked Roddy Piper. I think was amazing. He was my absolute favorite. He became a mentor to me later. I was real fortunate. As I got into wrestling more involved later, I was a real big fan of Rob Van Dam. I thought his style was very fresh for when I was getting into it. So down the line, I think just through the different decades or eras, there were guys that I really admired and looked up to.
Yeah, since the sport has evolved.
It has to, it has to, which is great.
All right, man. Next question. How do you define yourself, as a wrestler or as an entertainer?
As an entertainer, yeah. I mean, there was a time. I mean, I did amateur wrestling in high school, and I grew up with brothers, so I was always wrestling. But I was definitely entertaining, I think, before I was wrestling, and I identify with the performer much more, every day.
Okay. So tell us a little bit. I heard that you did go to the Shawn Michaels wrestling school.
There's a misconception. I went to Shawn's after Shawn had passed the school of Rudy Gonzalez. Shawn had a wrestling school, and I think a kid had gotten hurt at his school, and so what Shawn did was he kind of had to wash his hands of the situation apparently, and he switched the school over to Roddy Boy Gonzalez, who was his head trainer. And I came in kind of during that transition, and I was saying that in an interview, and the editor ran with it and was like, "Oh, he was trained by Shawn." I was like, "No, it's not exactly like that." So it's funny because years later, this is probably maybe 2007, Shawn pulled me into the locker room. I don't remember where we were, but he was like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second? This is at WWE." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." You know, he brings me in. He's like, "I gotta ask you this question because it's been bugging me for so long." He goes, "Did I train you?" I was like, no. Like, here, I told him exactly like I told you. I was like, no, this story got blown out of proportion. And then he goes, "Okay, good, because people keep telling me that I trained you," and I kept thinking, I would remember if I trained this kid. Like, I would remember.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of funny. And then I lied about reading his book and loving it. It felt really bad.
So, actual trainers, Dory Funk, Chris Daniels?
Yeah.
Those were your
my first trainer was Ivan Putski, the Polish Power, who was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Hall of Famer, WWE.
He was a strong man. He was actually tag team partners with Rocky Johnson, The Rock's father.
Mm-hmm.
They were tag champions and like one of the first intergender tag teams, I think, ever. So that was one of those defining tag teams that kind of broke some barriers. But Ivan Putski was my first initial trainer. His son Scott would come train us at times. He was in WCW, WWF for a while. I went up to I trained with Roddy Gonzalez. Then I went to California and I trained with Chris Daniels and a guy named Tom Howard. And then I went out to Florida and trained with Dory Funk Jr. And then he introduced me to Terry Funk, and I got a lot of training from Terry as well.
Wow.
I've been very fortunate. But when I was young and I was reading those magazines like I was telling you about that I got hooked on. I ordered this book at the back of the magazines, and it was like How to Be a Pro Wrestler. It was like a $15 book, and I ordered it, and I think I still have it somewhere in my parents' house. But in there was this quote, and it said, when you're looking for a school to train you, if the trainer couldn't make a star out of themselves, mainly meaning if the trainer is somebody you've never heard of, and you're like, well, who is he? Pete the plumber? Who is this guy? Like 20 years experience. It's like, well, you're obviously not somebody for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, you're not good.
Yeah.
So if somebody couldn't make a star out of themselves, like, what do you expect them to do with you? And that was just such a profound thing in my head. So I hand wrote all the schools that were in the back of this book. There was like 20 different schools. Wow. And maybe 3 of them wrote back to me. Really? This is before internet, so we had to handwrite everything. But yeah, and then you have to find a school that has credibility to teach you what you're doing, and so you don't kill yourself and kill other people.
Yeah, of course.
There's a whole process to it. You don't
the whole timing and everything.
Absolutely.
Which is part of
Absolutely. The truth is, you never stop learning. I'm constantly learning stuff and constantly having new experiences that force me to keep adjusting and learning. If you have the mentality that you have everything down and you've learned it all.
Yeah, especially with wrestling and lucha, movement comes from a different side.
Oh yeah, different side, the timing,
exactly,
the psychology,
exactly the psyche of that.
You can always learn stuff. I think it was just the mixture of drama and performance is really what drew me to wrestling overall.
Gotcha.
But I was lucky to have a lot of really good trainers with a lot of really good experience. And if I'm on a show with guys who I admire or I've looked up to, I'll pick their brain still every now and then. I'm lucky. I get to
you've had lots of miles.
Guys,
lots of miles on you, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. Next question. Did you enjoy your time with WWE, and did you feel that you leave in good terms?
I don't think I left on good terms, but I think it's just that's a very it's a corporate-driven company,
Yeah.
So. For me personally, it's very frustrating when, as a performer, you take a lot of pride in how you put things together.
Exactly.
You take a lot of pride in what I call your artistry.
Yes.
And so when that gets stunted or handcuffed or very restricted, it's frustrating. And so I can't say that I didn't enjoy my time there. I obviously really did enjoy it. I made some money. I was really happy most of the time. But there was a good number of times when I was very frustrated because I used to tell Steve Lombardi, the Brooklyn Brawler, this. They used to say, he's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Well, come on, man. I feel like a sports car that's just kept in the garage to be looked at. Like I don't get to hit the gas or anything, man. Like want to go. I want to be able to do what I can do.
Yeah,
So it was very frustrating.
I went to a WWE show on November last year, and Cena came out, and I'm yelling, "Cena sucks!" This little 6-year-old looks at me. She's like,
"Oh no, you're
like, no." You do feel this tension that it's a corporate vibe. It's just horrible. You go into the building and you just feel like that cold shiver of
it's
a
tough.
corporate company.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, as much as they say like their nation and all this stuff, and I don't feel that they care for the fans as much as they want, just because they don't have time to. They're too busy making money.
No, because I mean, I think they're listening to the casual fans instead of the hardcore fans, which we are a minority, you know.
Sure.
So that's the thing, and we actually do investigate and everything, you know.
But I mean, but you know, looking back, I mean, I did enjoy my time. I think it's like with any job, there's highs and lows. But it afforded me a ton of experiences that I wouldn't have gotten anywhere else, you know.
All right, man. Next question. Yeah. Worst embarrassing moment while wrestling? Has a botch or has somebody farted on you?
No, well, actually, it's a couple.
I had to ask.
No, that's fine. It's a great question. It happens a lot. Once when I was in Japan, there's this guy named Takaiwa, and he's notorious for clotheslining your face off, just stiff son of a bitch, and bigger than me, you know. And so, anyways, he put me up top one time and he said brainbuster, and I was so confused, thinking like he means like a brainbuster, like a driver, like I would think of it, but he meant just suplex at the top. So as he puts me up top and he says brainbuster, I'm sitting here thinking like, oh fuck, like how am I gonna take this on my head? And as I'm thinking about it, he slaps me right in the ear and busts my eardrum, and so I can't hear for like the rest of the tour, which is like another 2 weeks. And then at the end of the tour, I had a match with him in a tag, so I had a chance to get some retribution in. So his finisher was like, he would give you power bomb, pick you up, and then Death Valley Driver.
Oh wow!
And he goes, and towards the end of the match, I can't remember who else was in the match, but he was like power bomb, and as he picked me up for the third power bomb, I farted so bad in his face, like it must have been the wettest fart ever. And like he sat there and he stumbled, and he was like, oh. He was like, he started like, he was like just like trying not to throw up, and he was like, and then he like slammed me and he started laughing and he couldn't pick me up, and he's like, and his partner on the apron, I think it was Hidaka, he was like, and he was like, I guess it was horrible, but he hit me at the Death Valley Driver and it hurt. But that was my receipt for boxing my ear.
All right, Matt. Let's do these little quick questions right here because I know you're in a hurry to go home.
Yeah, I know. So lightning round.
All right, man. Yeah, lightning round. Worst injury?
Severely sprained neck at a flea market in Anaheim. Partial paralysis of my lower body.
All right. What do you think? What do you think of our new president?
Not mine. I don't know. I mean, fuck. To be honest with you, I don't follow any of that stuff, man.
That's good, man. That's good. Let them build a wall. We'll make tunnels underneath. You know, we'll still cross.
That's it.
We'll still cross. Fuck it.
I'm too busy in the rabbit holes.
You can put rabbit holes. There you go.
Too busy in the rabbit holes.
In fact, you can put the alligator with the crocodiles. Like in an hour, we'll be selling crocodile boots, man.
All I know is he is the tannest son of a bitch I've ever seen. He looks like a carrot.
All right, man.
Very orange.
Do you have any religion or?
Not really. I mean, I'm pretty spiritual. Just in that I like to take care of mind and body. I think they're intertwined, and you know, I like to think that there's a higher energy that connects all of us in some way or form, and I like to believe in, you know, being good to people and karma and things of that nature. But as far as like an actual religion, I was raised in like a Catholic household, but I really rejected it. I mean, it wasn't anything that really resonated in me. It's not for everybody.
Got you.
It definitely wasn't for me.
Well, probably, you know, Mexican culture from
but my mom is just, you know, que Dios te cuida y todo. Okay, man, Thomas and I.
All right, man. Music, rock, reggae.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on the mood. And I'm kind of an older guy now. When I was younger, definitely more heavy metal. I just kind of grew up on a lot of rock, really. Doors, Pink Floyd, things of that nature. A lot of psychedelic rock. My favorite band is Faith No More.
Okay.
But I can go anywhere. I can listen to some country. I can listen to rap. I like rap a lot. Really, I love soundtrack music too, like scores and things to films. I prefer a lot of music without lyrics. Just
Okay,
because,
gotcha. Instrumental music,
yeah, classical stuff or jazz. I mean, it's more it kind of invokes more emotion out of me, I guess, instead of telling me what I'm supposed to be thinking about by feeding words into my head.
All right, man. We have like 3 more questions really quick. What you do in your free time, man? Do you get away from wrestling or?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't watch a lot of it unless it's something obscure. If I watch wrestling, it's usually like on YouTube or Botchamania. That's like pretty much all that I watch. But no, I just really just spend time with my girlfriend and watch a lot of horror movies or just shit movies. Or what I like to do is I like to go places. I like to study people.
Okay.
Whether I'm at the grocery store or whatever, I find people interesting. I think it's just because I'm an actor, and so I don't know, I don't get bored very easily.
Gotcha.
I try to find most things interesting.
Just to keep yourself busy and stuff?
Yeah, but I don't really have much of like a routine. I mean, I try and get to the gym early. I'm much more of an early workout guy than a late, but even then, if I make it, great. I don't know. I like to be somewhat productive.
Okay, gotcha, man. Well, I know you're now with Lucha Underground, with the whole Rabbit Tribe. I mean, man, third mid-season finale, that's horrible.
It's so bad. I know.
bad, man.
I know. It's such a stretch, too. It's like, well, hopefully y'all will keep watching in some
Yeah,
time.
hopefully everything gets fixed with that whole situation that's going on over there. But I mean, you know what? I mean,
El Rey must have a lot of content to put on their network until then. I hope they do. I mean, I love kung fu movies and shit, horror movies. Yeah, well, more than the next guy, trust me. But I want to see the rest of the season. You know.
Yeah, me too. And it's been having that problem. Hey, don't be wrestling these days, because we're gonna shoot and everything. So
frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And then we're not gonna shoot. I could have had wrestling. I could have gone paid that day. But
it's the perils of a performer, man.
Exactly, man.
Not only is the card subject to change, but the whole damn date.
Yeah. Hey, man. Well, I've been going to PCW a lot. Hope to see you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mike, get this guy. He's awesome.
That's it. Yeah. No, I know those guys over there. It's always been kind of a scheduling conflict up to this point, so we need to match up our schedules. And
man,
everyone over there, I think, is amazing. Every show seems to be better and better. I think last show they did was like 900 plus.
No, 1,500.
No way.
I was there.
Oh my gosh.
I was there last week. Close to 1,500 people, man.
There's nobody in the state drawing that, or in the region, really. I mean, that's
he can only fit 300, 400 people max.
That's their call, man.
I know, man, but it's still awesome to watch, Yeah. But yeah, man, hope to see you there, and
I hope so too. Yeah.
Man, thank you so much for your time.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you. We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Jason said he wants to bring you back again.
You heard it here.
Yeah, you heard it on Gobble's podcast. All right, got anything for the fans?
No, just if you're on Twitter or Instagram, check me out at LondonFu, LONDONFU. And just stay groovy and stay loose.
All right, well, thank you guys for listening to this 20-minute interview, close to. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night, good day, wherever you are.
See you down the rabbit hole.